I regret moving to South Carolina. I hear some version of that sentence more than you think. And I'm not going to pretend it never happens, because it does. But when you actually dig into the why, it's almost never about South Carolina itself. It's about 6 specific decisions people make before they ever got here. Let's go through every one of them honestly with real numbers. I work with relocation buyers every week, and I'd rather show you the friction points up front than you find them the hard way. This is the unfiltered version, so if you do move here, you move here with your eyes open. Quick note before we get into it, everything I'm about to walk through, plus a checklist to make sure that none of this catches you off guard, is in my free relocation guide. It's linked right below this video. No cost, no catch. Now let's get into those 6 things. If you're coming from a drier or colder climate, the humidity here is a real adjustment. It's not a myth. Greenville summers run hot and muggy from roughly June through August, with heat index readings that can climb well past 100 degrees. And the region gets close to 50 inches of rain a year, meaningfully more than the national average. For most of my clients, this becomes background noise within a season. For a few who only have visited in spring, it's a genuine shock the first July. My advice, if you can, plan at least one visit here in July or August before you buy. It tells you more than 10 spring visits tells you. Reason number 2 is the tax trap that nobody sees. This is the single most common avoidable regret I do see, and it's purely a paperwork issue. South Carolina, they tax in owner-occupied primary residence at 4% assessment ratio, and everything else, second homes, rentals, or homes you haven't filed for, at 6%. That's a 50% higher taxable value if you miss this step. Here's the part almost nobody tells you. And when you close, the county does not automatically know it's your primary residence. In Greenville County, you file a legal residence application with the assessor's office, online or by mail, and you need to do it before the penalty deadline, typically January 15th. If you miss it and you're billed at the higher rate for the year, it's a fixable problem, but only if somebody tells you about it before closing. Reason number 3 is the income tax picture. It's not what people expect. A lot of transplants assume South Carolina income tax will sting, and it's worth clearing up. Under a 2026 law change, South Carolina now just has 2 brackets, 1.99% on the first portion of income and a top rate of 5.21 above that, with automatic future cuts if state revenue grows enough. For retirees specifically, Social Security isn't taxed at all, and there's a meaningful deduction on other qualifying retirement income once you do turn 65. For some clients coming from states with much higher income tax, this is a pleasant surprise rather than a regret. But if you don't run the numbers ahead of time, it's one more thing that can catch you off guard either direction. If you want to see exactly how your specific situation might fit here, this is exactly what I walk through on a free discovery call. There's no obligation, just real numbers, real conversation based on your situation. The link is below if you would like to schedule the call. Reason number 4, insurance costs, they have climbed fast. This one's newer and it's legitimate. According to the 2026 National Insurance Report, South Carolina was one of just 6 states where home insurance rates rose at least 20% in a single year. Statewide, that puts typical annual premiums somewhere in the $2,600 to $3,100 range, depending on the home and the coverage. To be fair, upstate inland premiums generally run lower than coastal South Carolina, where hurricane risks push costs up. But if someone budgeted based on the old insurance quote or a coastal market number, the actual bill can be a surprise. Get a real current quote before you finalize your budget. Reason number 5, growth means traffic and change. South Carolina was the fastest growing state in the country in both 2024 and 2025, and the Greenville Metro just crossed 1 million residents, up over 9% since 2020. That growth is a huge part of why people move here. New restaurants, new employers, a livelier downtown, but it also means more traffic on corridors like I-85 and I-385, more construction, and neighborhoods that feel different than they did 5 years ago. If someone romanticized a sleepy small town from an old photo, the current reality is much more busier and more built up, and can feel like a letdown if they weren't expecting the growth. Reason number 6, they moved for the house and not the life. This is still the big one. The clients who end up happiest weren't chasing a bigger house, a lower price tag. They were chasing a specific life. Mornings on the porch, a walkable downtown, room for a garden, being close to your grandkids. The ones who regret the move were usually chasing square footage or listing price, and the lifestyle part was the afterthought. If you cannot answer why here specifically in one sentence, it's worth sitting down before you make that offer. That is exactly why I start every relocation conversation with why someone is moving, not what they want to buy. If I understand the life you're trying to build, I can walk you through those real numbers, the taxes, insurance, growth, before you're 6 months into a mortgage wishing you'd asked more questions. If you're weighing a move here, grab my free Upstate South Carolina relocation guide. It is linked in the description below. And if you'd rather just talk through it, my discovery call is free and there's no pressure. The link is below either way. And tell me in the comments, maybe, what do you wish someone had told you first? Thanks for watching, and next up, I'm breaking down every hidden cost of living in Greenville with real 2026 numbers. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.